But can I ask you, what I've noticed with a lot of entrepreneurs that I met and family business owners is they got this core business, which is the cash cow, okay, which is the one that does extremely well. And then they start to diversify. And I know you've expanded into probably 8, 9 other businesses. Was that a good move now looking back? Has that worked extremely well? Or, if you were to do it all over again, would you not have gone into some of those businesses and spent more time focusing on the core cash cow and expanding that further? What are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, I expanded into businesses that has 2 things. First, a synergy with my business. Second, when I find the right partner. And that is very, very, very big. So, for example, my holiday home business, gives me a lot of, most of the businesses I started wasn't just to make extra money from those businesses. Mm-hmm. It's to allow me to contain my clients and to acquire more market share in my core business.
Right.
So for example, in my core business, when I sell an office and then they need interior design, then I have my interior design company doing the interior design. I built the relationship with the client. I contained that client. Tomorrow, the same client wants to rent the office out or wants to sell the office. I still have the relationship. I minimize his exposure to other competitors in the market or even to other interior design companies who may take him to different brokers. So I think I had a strong rationale behind every business that I started. But I think the most difficult part of starting a business is finding the right partner. And I think every employee, in effect, is a partner.
So what's your assessment for that? I mean, I've done a video on this recently with my own journey, on losing $20 million in equity over the years with bad partnerships. So I did a whole video on this. But from your point of view, what's your criteria when you look for the right partner? What's the secret sauce ingredients you're looking to assess?
I think it must be someone who I knew before. I mean, I have my eyes open wherever I go. Like, for example, the guy who was a valet parking, who was like, he used to put the serve me at one of the restaurants, and then he was the valet parking, the guy. He was doing his job so well. Yeah. So I kept him in my mind. Then I brought him, he became my driver. And then last year, he's done a deal worth of 600 million dirhams. And today he's officially a millionaire.
Fantastic.
But why? Because you look at people who are doing any job so well, because that's in their heart. And if you feel that they have the skill set and the charisma and the character to grow more, and most importantly, the hunger to grow more, they just need an opportunity. Wow. These guys are hidden gems. When you find them, they're hidden gems. So for example, in my fam living business, and why I'm saying this, I gave you this example when I'm talking about partners, because they are partners. I think when you sit at the table with anyone who's gonna work with you, especially in my line of business, he is in effect a partner. He represents your brand. He can actually harm you, or he can work hand in hand with you. So I think the most important thing is that you need to know someone well enough, for sure. You need to see them in different occasions and in different situations and in different scenarios and see how they act. And then when it boils down to business, you need to make sure that before or when you start negotiating the partnership or the employment, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you are aiming to get to a win-win situation. Not only now, on the short, medium, and long term. Because you can sit with me now and tell me, Firas, come and do this business. I'm not so good. I don't know the ins and outs of that business. And you can sell me that concept. But if it's not good to sell me something that I'm not going to see tomorrow. So in a sense, it has to be win-win. You have to make sure that 3 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line, I'm not going to sit back and say, you know what, I'm underpaid. You know what, he's taking so much money. You know what? So I think this is a key to any partnership. And I think it's a
story. I absolutely love it. I love the valet to millionaire story. I have a formula, I call it talent times energy, So the talent, you may not know straight away, you have to discover it in someone and give them a chance, like you did with your brother, and you found his talent and look at how that's worked as a partnership. But at the same time, someone has to have the energy. What is their most self-motivation, their determination, their desire level? Are they prepared to work hard? Because there's so many people out there who are geniuses, have great resumes, but they don't have the energy.
Yeah. If they don't have the hunger, they don't have the will. You know, success is not like, there's no right and wrong about success. If someone is happy where he is, whether he's doing the valet parking or whatever he's doing, if he's happy with his life and he has this self-contentment, he doesn't want to grow, he's okay with a couple of thousand dirhams a month, then fine, good for him. I'm not gonna say this guy is not successful. So you need to find someone who's in line with your aspirations. Yeah. That's very, very important.
Yeah, your values as well. Yeah, your own values is very important.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah. And then you need to strike a business deal that is where it's a win, where the win-win scenario is long-lasting.
Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example of what you look for? What would be win-win? Like what?
Like, for example, if I now have like my fam living business. Okay, so the story of fam living is very simple. I started it on my own here at Fam Properties. I got the trade license, and there's a lot of synergy with my business. Then I wanted to have someone who can run it. So I put one of my guys there. He didn't do well. And then I knew someone 10 years back when I was nothing, basically, when I was living, sharing in an international city. And I knew that the guy has a very good value system. And I knew that the guy we kept in touch over the past 10 years. I knew that he always wanted to get out of employment and to do something more entrepreneurial. So I called him up. I said, listen, I have this building. Can you furnish this building? I knew that he owns one apartment and he was doing the Airbnb for his apartment. So that's it. That's his experience. But he comes from a completely different corporate background. And I said, listen, can you furnish this building for me? He's done it so well. He was very well organized with his, documents, the administrative side of it. He showed great negotiation skills. And I was like, you know what? This guy is a hidden gem. So I brought him in and I said, listen, I'm going to give you this much salary, which is a big setback from his salary. It's probably 20% of what he was earning.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to give you this much profit share. And these are my books, open books with all honesty and transparency. And this is the potential of the business. This is what I see if someone works hard on the business. This is where I see and how I see they can get it to that extent. And here is your profit share. And here is also your equity share, your sweat equity share over the coming 3 years if you achieve 1, 2, 3 KPIs. So I think clarity, transparency, you need to have a very, very well-defined. There's no, if you trust me and if I trust you, we need to put everything in writing because I could forget, and it could leave me with a very bad taste in my mouth. I could forget, like I could be happy with X, but we didn't write it. I forgot that I agreed on X, and now I'm just not happy. And if there's nothing in writing, if you're not very well organized, and if not everything very well defined from day one, that's gonna start the bad feelings, and that's where intention starts to go right, left, and center.
Wow.
So
some good insights there. Have you ever had a situation where those things don't work out? With all the best intention, it just.
My interior design partner, he just left me because I started a company called Fam something Interiors, and then I brought a lot of business to the company, and the guy was an engineer, so he's got the know-how of the interior design business, and basically he expected me to keep, I exhausted all my relationships, so now the company made very good money in the first year, but now it's his go. I've given him the stepstone. It's his go to hire and to run it as a real business. Well, he didn't. He wanted more and more and more. And then all of a sudden, he left me overnight. And he said, he left me with a deficit of 2.5 million. And he said, well, the company has Fam. If you want to announce the bankruptcy, I have the upper hand. Fine, announce it. He called me from Suwait. He's like, you know what? It's all yours now. So I immediately called all the suppliers. I said, listen, guys, I'm a 50% owner of the business. Come and take my share. I kept very good relationship with everyone. I said, just talk to him, ask him to come and to let go of the license. And I acquired the license back. When he came, I didn't even meet him. So yes, sometimes it doesn't work. And sometimes, like with my outdoor media business, we had a business model. I started with my partner, Media 24/7, which is one of the largest outdoor media suppliers in the UAE. So I started with him on a certain business model, and then the business model had to change and had to evolve. and I felt that he's putting more effort into it. So I went to him and I said, listen, I know that now you're putting more effort. Let's not do the split 50-50. Let's do one part for me, one part for you, and one part for the extra sweat you're putting in. So I think we have to be reasonable. We have to be, it's not about, being greedy or not. It's about being intelligent about it.
Yeah, I like
it's
it.
about understanding that if your partner is not happy with you, or if you feel that your partner is taking more than he's supposed to take, or if you feel that you're underpaid, the relationship, the partnership won't last.
Yeah, it's really good. So